Hello, welcome back to Fetch TCG. We're here with Amash, who won back-to-back locals with none other than blue-green Rosinante. How did you feel?
Oh, it felt good, Rosinante is not a leader that you typically come across every day, so I enjoy playing the deck, and I was glad to see it do well in the locals.
Nice. And what was the reason that you chose to play him?
Oh, it's just, it's quite a fun leader, Rosinante's effect is a blocker leader. A lot of people look at the card and say, what the hell does it even do,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite a fun leader to play, just throws people off guard, and I think it does well.
Yeah. What's the general strategy?
General strategy? Essentially you want to go second with the deck, and what you're doing is playing your searches early on, and usually they will play cards to counter your searches by swinging into it, but you can just block with your leader, and that way, you're making them waste swings into your searches.
That's insane. And then your searches stay alive for like more than 1 or 2 turns.
Yeah, ideally that's the point. Try to keep it around for 1 or 2 turns, and then try and look towards a high end.
How does it face against the meta? So like a Black Moria or like a Black and Yellow Luffy?
Black Moria is a hard matchup. They usually do kill your searches through Absalom, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, Absalom will kill them, but you have cards that can stop it, and as long as they're not hitting your life early, that's the main point. With red purple law, you're kind of trying to play for a sugar and then resting their cards in return. That way makes it hard for them to do things and work around your board.
And what's the perfect starting hand for you? What are you looking for?
What am I looking for? Ideally 1 searcher, maybe 1 sugar, 3 cost Doffy that rearranges top deck, and maybe one of your mid-game cards like Law or X-Drake.
Let's go through the deck profile.
Yep, so starting off we have the 4 Baby 5, so this card searches a lot through the deck. And then with that you have 4 Bonnies. That way you can get access to both engines. So that's it for your searches. Then you've got your 2k counters. Pretty much all of them are searchable except for the Kaya. So you're playing 3 Apu, which is through Bonnie, and then 5 Don Quixote Pirates through Baby 5. And then the Kaya is always there just to, in case you need to get a better hand, you can,
Right.
So that's it for your 2k counters. You're running 10, which is reasonable. Key piece in the deck now is Sugar. So this card's pretty insane. Like, as long as you get a searcher off the first time, then you play a Sugar. They have to now deal with Sugar and a searcher at the same time.
Yep.
And your leader can always block for one or the other. Yeah, you're just keeping them around and punishing your opponent for playing card. And then another key piece of the deck, you've got your 4 Doflamingo blocker, top 5 rearrange. And this just allows me to see what I'm getting later on in curve. If I don't like a certain curve, I'm just I bot deck it because I can, just because this card here allows me to reset immediately, you can either play this and get a new stack that you want, or if you want more hand, you always got that.
So it's pretty flexible in that sense.
Yes, very flexible.
That's cool.
This is another emergency option there. So blocker, but also looks at top 5. So essentially doing the same thing I want to do with the Law.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't allow me to swing with Doflamingo if I wanted to. And then you have a bunch of smaller blockers. So you got your 3 killer, play that. You can put a Don on it. You're going to have 3 or more characters on board most of the time. So that is just going to give you an extra draw. And you never want to go over 6, so just depends on how flexible you want to be with. And it's still a cheap blocker if you want to play it. And it's got counter, really good.
Yeah.
Now this is huge. This card is cracked.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, just with the high end in this deck, it stops them from KOing it stops like them to do things for free, really, and like it can help me survive.
Yeah.
And then for our high end, we have the most disgusting kid you've ever seen.
Yep.
So you got your ACOS kid. As I said, you want to go second because what you want to do is you want to play Sanji. Sanji then plays for 9 Don. You have already stacked the top of your deck, so you can play ACOS kid off the top safely through Sanji. And you still have that 1 Don left to tap with the kid that plays you another blocker. So essentially, if you're going into a Moria matchup, Moria now has to deal with a Sanji, a kid, and most likely another 2-cost blocker. You know, that's quite a bit. If you were forced to first, you always have this that can also be played off Sanji.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a good card. I like it. Other people are playing other cards around it just because better play Mihawk, 9-cost Mihawk.
Yeah.
But I prefer this just because it is searchable with Baby 5.
That's right.
Yeah, so I just like having that. And then right down at the end we have our 2 Raging Tiger.
Yep.
Insane card, really good into black matchup and good into really any matchup on your 7 Don curve. Bot deck 2, 6 or less. Like now that the new Luffy decks are out, this is going to be bigger, so I might bump this up.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then like just a one-off.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get non-counter and you just need to get rid of it. So, I mean, that's the deck profile.
Is there anything in the deck that you would change?
Yeah, so now that EB1 is out, I would probably switch out the Scratch Mana Poos
Yeah.
for newer Scratch Mana Poos.
Yep.
Yeah, just to rest the 1-cost blocker if that comes up. And it's more flexible as a 2K.
Yeah.
Another thing I might look at changing is I might cut the Kayas
Okay.
for the 2K counter just so that I can play Pudding.
Oh, I see. Yep.
Yeah, it is, I think, more worth just because you got so much decks at the moment that get so much hand and you can just get rid of it, you know?
Yeah.
Makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
And one thing I did consider for EB1 as well is there's Champion Rifle, I believe.
Yep.
And with that, because you're stacking your deck so often, you can Champion Rifle and make them bounce something back to hand, which can save your kid and maybe save you later down the track. But yeah, that's all. Thank you.
That's insane. Congratulations on your back-to-back locals win with an off-meta deck.
Yeah, thank you.